Hey everybody, and welcome to the lounge, all my fellow loungers, chillers, ballers, and grillers. Especially grillers, because today is that day. We are grilling. It's a little cold out today. What's new? It's that time of the year now in the fall. So, we have on the menu today, we have a steak wrap that we're going to do with a flank steak with some grilled vegetables on it. A little chimichurri sauce on a spinach wrap. So, sounds pretty good, doesn't it? Just want to let you know that I'm all by myself today, doing all the filming today. Bear with me. It's not going to be great camera work because I got to keep setting up on the tripod. It's going to take me forever. I'm Tomless today. And that's just the way it be. Except for my man Simon over here. He's kind of happy because he thinks he's getting some grub. Anyway, before we get started, just want to say, Miranda, read the rest of your letter, and I want you to know that my thoughts and prayers are with you, and I send my love to you. Anyway, let's get started. Grab yourself something cold to drink, put your feet up and relax. Let's get going. I'm kind of leaning down like this because I don't feel like putting the stand up any higher. Yeah, hell of a thing not having Tom here. Anyway, going to tell you the ingredients we have right now for our chimichurri sauce, because that is first. So first we have flat leaf parsley. Now this is a little different than regular parsley. The leaves are a lot bigger. I actually like the taste of this stuff too. We need some garlic, some extra virgin olive oil, some red wine vinegar, a lemon, oregano, dried oregano, black pepper, salt, and the only other thing we're going to need is either a food processor or a blender. I'm going to use a blender, so I'll show you how to make this. It's delicious. Now let's go through the ingredients that we're going to need. As you can see, I'm holding the camera right now because, again, I'm Tomless. But here's the ingredients that we're going to need. We are going to need flat leaf parsley. It's a little bit different than regular parsley. As you can see, the leaves are flat and they're a lot bigger. I really like the taste of this stuff too. We are going to need garlic, extra virgin olive oil, red wine vinegar, a lemon, red onion, dried oregano, black pepper, and salt. And that's basically just from that point on for our chimichurri sauce. Now, I'm going to be using a flank steak to cook up. You can use whatever steak you want, really, but this is what I'm going to use, okay? I'm going to use 2 green peppers, an onion. I'm just going to be grilling them up. And of course, we have some garden spinach herb wraps. We're also going to need a blender or a food processor for this. A little salt and pepper, a cutting board, and a grill. I'm pretty sure, sorry about that, I was turning the camera around. Kind of sucks, actually, not having nobody with the camera work. I should dock Tom for this. Anyway, we're going to get started now. First thing we're going to do is make chimichurri sauce in the blender. I'm going to show you guys how to do that. Set this up on a tripod and we're going to get started. We're going to start making the sauce now. What I have here is, I'm a little bit discombobulated because usually I show you each ingredient as have it in front of the other ones, but because I can't do the camera and this at the same time, I'm just going to show you. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your parsley. This can be a little tricky. It's easier in a food processor, but you're going to be putting this in the blender. Don't forget to use your lid. You don't want shit flying all over the place. So, you're going to want to, actually, this is not all the way tight on here. Make sure it's tight on there. Anyway, you want to make sure that you turn it on, of course, and you're going to pulse it. And we're just going to chop that up a little bit. you see any big stems in there, you can get them out later. Don't put your finger in there while you're using this. I'm going to put some more of these in there. And pulse it. Pulse it a few more times. Just okay. And you want to do this to all of the parsley that you have here, which is, by the way, if you're going to ask me how much parsley is that, that is a bunch. That's what they call a bunch. Now, if you see it where it's not doing anything, you can always get your spatula and try to get the leaves pushed down in there. And again, this is one part of it, and you just want to get them kind of chopped up real nice and neat. And of course, it spits it right back up. And sometimes you can't get it until later on, so until you start adding that oil in there. With a food processor, I think it's probably a little bit easier, but I don't got one. I only got a blender, so I'll use a blender. All right, so that's what we're doing for there. Anyway, next you can start adding the rest of your ingredients. I have about 4 to 5 cloves of garlic. This is pretty big clove there, so that's, if you have little ones, you got to judge how much garlic you want. You know, throw them in there. Okay, I have, it's about a tablespoon of, you know, diced red pepper. Doesn't really matter how big you dice it. You can dice it a little bit bigger than that. Doesn't really matter. It's going to get chopped up anyway. I also have the juice of about a half of a lemon in here. You don't need the whole lemon, just a half. Okay. Now in here I have a teaspoon of dried oregano, a teaspoon of black pepper, and a half a teaspoon of salt. Throw that in there. Okay, next I have a 1/4 cup of red wine vinegar. Throw that in there. Okay, now you can put your lid on. Now see, I have an opening in this lid right here. I'm gonna see if now you can start pouring your oil in there. Pour a little bit in at a time. Make sure you put your hand over top of that, or else you're gonna get, the oil will help actually to start weighing this down so that it actually will start getting chopped up. Okay, once you get it to that point where you can get it, looks like it's pretty chopped up, pour the rest of that oil in there. Then you can put it on actual low. Go to medium, but for right now you might want to stop it and get some of this stuff that's splattered all over the sides. Get that all down inside there. And you could actually now push medium. That way we can blend it really good. What I like to do is I stop it in between all these steps here, and I'm going to check the consistency of it. Push all the stuff from the side that tried to get away down inside there. And now I'm just going to give it a couple seconds on high. That's it. That's our sauce right there. Chimichurri sauce, which we're going to put in a container. We're going to marinate our steak in that, half of it for the marinating, and just need, well actually it's not even half, it's probably more than half that you can marinate. Set that up, and I'm going to show you how to do that in a second. We made our chimichurri sauce. I poured it into a bowl now, right? I put it in a clear one so you guys can see it naturally, and I pulled out my flank steak, as you can see. I also cut it lengthwise because this way I can keep it separate on the grill and it's a little bit easier to cook. We're going to take our chimichurri sauce and actually just pour some on the meat. And of course you're going to get it messy. And I don't care about my hand being in it. So spread that on there nice and thick, right? Try to get it everywhere. Turn this over like this. I wish that Tom was here for these close-ups and everything. It kind of sucks that I got to do everything myself today, but you know what? Life goes on, and I'm doing the best I can, so please bear with me. So anyway, so then put this all over, and I know it, you know, it's green. How good does green look? But let me tell you something. This is actually quite tasty. Okay, so they sit out like that. Now you're going to let that marinate out at room temperature for about a half hour. And while you're doing that, you can cut up your green peppers and your onion, and then get them started on the grill while this is actually marinated. So they're done, and then you grill that steak, and then we're ready to go. So I cut the onion and the green peppers up. What I want to show you is all I'm doing with the green peppers is cutting them in half. Okay, just like that. Okay, well, you're taking all the seeds out and stuff too, the stem. And the onion, what I'm doing is I'm cutting it like this. And so this is for grilling. So right now what you want to do is take your olive oil. Only Popeye fans will understand what I'm talking about. Drizzle some olive oil on there. And same thing with your peppers. And I'll tell you what, that was more than the drizzle. What I do is I get my hands dirty. That's just how I do it. That's how I roll. And then of course you're going to have to turn these over and do the same thing to the other side. Same thing with these peppers. Get your hands all oily. Put it all over them green peppers. And the same thing with the onions. You want to get that oil all over these things. Okay? Then of course have a paper towel handy so you can wipe that off, because you don't want to get oil all over your salt and pepper. That's not good, is it? Anyway, so then take a little salt and a little pepper. Okay, and don't forget to season both sides. And don't forget, while this is cooking, you can, obviously, you're having your meat rest over here on the side. And, oh, also, I forgot. I noticed this. You know how I always say, I always forget at least one ingredient. Well, needless to say, of course, I forgot one. Remember also, sharp cheddar cheese. Going to need that too for the rest. Unless you don't want cheese, then you don't have to use it. Okay, so now we're going to get these grilling. While they're grilling, the meat's still resting because it had a bad day, a hard day. It's going to just rest there on the side. I'm going to grill them up. Take enough foil out there so when they're cooked, you wrap them up to keep them nice and warm, okay? Meet you outside. We're ready to put our vegetables on. If you hear a lot of noise, my neighbor decided that he's going to do some kind of leaf blowing or something on his tractor over there. So for your enjoyment, you might hear that in the background. Put your peppers on. And your onions. They're going to take a while to cook. Again, you want to make sure that they get translucent. And if it's cool outside like it is today, you can close your grill. Helps it cook a little bit faster and stuff. You can close that for a little while. Keep checking on it because you don't want to burn anything. I'm going to cook them for a while. I'm actually not going to cook my steak until these are completely done. When these are completely done, I'm going to wrap them up in aluminum foil, put them in the house so they stay nice and warm, and then start my steak. So that's how I do it. Okay, also if I didn't tell you, which I didn't because I forgot, when the onions start, you know, coming apart like that, they actually cook a little faster. So I mean, if you can get them apart, fine. If they start falling apart like that, that's even better yet. You know, when they start getting like that, that's fine. Like I said, make sure you keep an eye on these things. You want to make sure that, see, like when you start getting the rings off, they'll cook faster that way if you can get them separated. You know, just let them fall apart on the grill. That's how I do it. Usually with the further along that they cook, they start coming apart easier. Do it like that on there. Keep flipping them things. Do not let them get burned. Burned vegetables are not good. You can tell when the peppers are near done, they're going to get really, really soft. Same thing with the onions. They're going to get soft. They're going to get almost translucent. But you know, I want a little crunch to the vegetables, so I'm not going to cook them so completely that they have no crunch on them. And make sure that you don't burn them. Nobody likes anything burnt. You know, but grill marks are not bad. You just don't want them burnt. So constantly keep checking on them constantly. It's hard for me today because it's like I got 10 things to do at one time. Usually Tom, you know, you guys don't realize it, but sometimes Tom's like running in the house to go get me something, like when the camera's off and stuff. He's a big help. And I miss him today. But we'll get by. We always do. So my vegetables are almost done. I get to hear this shit while I'm trying to cook right now. Don't they know I'm trying to film? What's wrong with people? I got most of the veggies over here already. They're still steaming. The rest of these are just about done. Almost done. That one looks about done. Oh my lord, knock it off. I don't know if you guys can even hear that or not. I got the shotgun mic on right now, so I'm hoping that it doesn't pick that shit up. But it probably does. I'll probably hear about it, but you know what? What the hell can I do? You can't tell your neighbors to stop living their lives, right? I just happen to live right next to a road. Guess I gotta move. You guys need to give me more views so I can make more money so I can move the hell out of here. Just kidding. I actually love where I live. Kind of. I love the lounge. Love my basketball court. If I could take all that stuff with me, I'd be fine. Of course, then again, I could always build another one, couldn't I? Anyway, our vegetables are all done now. So, we're going to foil these up so that heat stays in there. We don't want that heat to get out of there. I closed it in a big old veggie pocket right now. And I'm actually going to put this in the oven. I'm not going to turn the oven on. I'm just going to put it in the oven to keep it hot. I'm going to bring my steaks out, cook them up. Then the spinach wraps, put them, get a little grill marks on them. Be careful with them that you don't burn them. But for right now, I'm going to put these in the house, bring the steaks out. I'll be right back. Told you I'd be right back. It's really fast in video time, isn't it? Anyway, so now it is the time to take your steaks, put them on the grill. Oh, listen to that sound. Doesn't that sound good? Okay. And again, these are going to cook for about 4 or 5 minutes each side. Probably about maybe 5 or 6 minutes each side. Again, don't overcook them. You want them a little medium on the inside. You do not want it rare, but you do not want it overcooked or else it'll be tough. Especially since they're flank steaks too. So while they're cooking, I'm going to run in the house real quick and get the spinach wraps so I can start putting them on the grill and get them ready. Make sure you have enough foil again to cover them to keep them warm. Also, I'm going to put them on a cookie sheet with foil. Okay, if you see flames start shooting up around your meat, move your meat to another spot. Anyway, how you know your meat is done? How do you know? Well, you can touch it like this. It should be a little bit firm and not too spongy feeling like it is right now. So, you know, and if it starts cooking too fast, because some parts of your grill actually are hotter than the other. I'm getting smoke inhalation while I'm talking, but so you might have to move the meat around a little bit on the grill. This is a pretty big piece right here. I'll move it over to here right now until I see some flames get on that, and then I'll put it in another spot. Anyway, there's a lot of oil in that, so naturally it wants to burn. So we just keep it away from the flames right now. But anyway, like I said, you touch it, that's a little bit way too soft. You don't want it real firm, because if it's too firm, then you know it's well done. We don't want it well done. We want it a little bit pink in the middle. Not really pink, just a little bit. And then after this, we're going to get those. Oh, I brought out the spinach wraps here so I can put them on the grill. but I'm going to kind of wait for till till the meat's just about done. I got a little bit to wait. Our one side was done. This one was a little bit thicker, so it's about done right now. So I'm going to put them on here. Take your foil, bring that over. Don't seal it up tight. You put that in the house. You need your meat to rest. You don't want it to get tight because you want it to stay warm, but you don't want it to keep cooking. So don't tighten that foil up and seal it all the way around it. Anyway, put them in the house, let your meat rest. That'll work out. We'll put that on the counter. I'm going to cook these up real quick. They only take a minute, then we're good to go. So it's time to put our spinach wraps on the grill. And remember, don't leave these on too long because they will burn. And you do not want them to burn. You just want to basically, we're warming these things up to get grill marks on them. Can't really fit that many of these on here at one time. Be kind of pointless to fit 3 of them on anyway when I have 4 of them. I'm making enough for 4. Probably could squeeze 5 at them, but I like them nice and thick. So like I said, you want to just keep an eye on these. Do not let them burn. Just get some grill marks on these. Flip them over. This one's almost done already. Unbelievable. So you want to do this to all 4 of these. Then we'll meet back in the house and we'll start plating this stuff. Well, I have to chop the vegetables up and the steak. See, look, that fast while I'm talking, right? That one got done already. Same thing with this one. Put them on there. Get your next 2 there. I will meet you inside. We're going to chop up the vegetables, cut up the steak, plate these things, and then we're going to eat. Now we're in the house. I feel like I'm running around like a chicken without its head right now. First thing we want to do is get our nice hot vegetables here. Cut up our onions. Oh, they're hot still. And our green peppers. Just cut them in pieces. Try not to cut your finger off. I know I've heard some comments about, Uncle Larry, the way you cut your vegetables makes me cringe. Sorry, don't mean to do that. Don't want to make anybody cringe, but at the same token, I still got all my fingers, so I haven't lost any. I've never even really seriously cut myself, and now that I said that, I'll probably cut a finger off. But anyway, I'm pretty careful with that kind of stuff. You know, usually when you rush, like today, that's when you make mistakes. Anyway, while you're cutting this up, just make sure that you're cutting them in decent bite-sized pieces, you know, like something like that. You don't want them tiny, but you don't want them real gigantic either. Anyway, I'm putting these on a plate over here. Yes, I have plenty of onion. And then, usually I don't have to show you all this because Tom works his magic with the camera. But he's not here again, like I told you so many times, and you're probably sick of hearing it now. Anyway, so now it's green pepper time. Cut up your green pepper. However, whatever size you want to, it doesn't really matter. I'm cutting them up in little chunks. Probably like that size, just so you know. Cut them all up. And then we're going to start plating after that. Well, no. Then I'm going to show you how to cut the steak up. Now take your steak. Now, the grain's going this way. So I'm going to cut against the grain. I'm going to cut on a slight angle like this. I'm going to try to cut it relatively thin. You don't want it real thick. About the size of that. And look, that is cooked. I don't know if you can see that from there. But that is cooked perfectly right there. So you want to cut that nice and thin. And cut up both of these. And then we will start the plating. Now, time for the plating. First, take yourself one of your wraps, put them on your plate. First thing you want to do, take some of your chimichurri sauce, not a whole lot, about a teaspoon's worth. Put that on there, spread it around on there. I hope you guys can see this. Tom would be like, have that camera right up in here. Sorry about that, guys. Take some cheese, some cheddar cheese, as much as you want. It's up to you. Okay, grab some green peppers, put that down, some onions. Remember, we're making 4 of these, right? So, you know, try to visualize how many would go into 4. Grab yourself a whole bunch of meat in there. Like I said, I like to make these really nice. So anyway, then fold one end in, fold the other end in. So it's a little bit tricky. Then you take it and roll it, try to get it as tight as you can. I wonder if I practiced this before sometime when I was younger. Not really sure. Get it like that, grab yourself a knife, and we're going to cut it. And I'm going to show you what that looks like. I'm going to grab me a knife and cut it. Sorry I didn't have a knife here. Cut it on an angle like that. Right? Just like that. Hopefully I went all the way through. Take it. Turn one on the other like that. And that's what we got. So I'm going to do this 3 more times and then I'll meet you outside and we'll give it the old taste test and try it out. Now the taste test. Camera looks a little crooked. Sorry, I'm doing the best I can, guys. Anyway, I hooked my man Simon up. This is awesome. Just want to say. Anyway, I hope you enjoy this. Remember, no hate needed, only love. Till next time, grab yourself something cold to drink. I'll meet you at the lounge.